Gangways lowered, tugs all fast. Let go bow lines, let go stern lines, let go aft springs.
Tow her off, Mr. Lightoller.
Think of 1997, December the 19th to be exact, and the most expensive blockbuster movie of all time in those particular days was released. It was called Titanic. It's regularly screened and is still quite a hit today. Let's move forward to the 21st century, and we have Titanic the Musical. Winner of 5 Tony Awards, including Best Musical, Best Score, Best Book. It's said to be the greatest American musical to have been written in 15 years. It's going to be presented by Stage Art here in Melbourne, and it opens on the 7th of July. One of the stars is my next guest, and he's online right now. I'm going to be talking to Matthew Hyde. Matthew, welcome in. Nice to have you with us today.
Hi, thanks, Lee. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, nice to have you here, mate. Thanks very much for joining us. Must be a lot of fun, Titanic, knowing you're going to drown out of all of this.
Well, that's the thing. I guess audience coming into the show, there's not really much to give away at the end.
But it's just how you do it, isn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah, just how you do it. I see on the run sheets and so on of all of this that each one of the actors play 3 parts, and that makes it fascinating too. It must be a very, very busy time for you as an actor.
Yeah. I guess it's I guess we've all got sort of one main character, and then as you say, we sort of play someone from each of the different classes. So it's getting your head around the different hopes and aspirations that each of the different classes had, why they were boarding the Titanic and what they were looking for in America and the New World. So
I've been waiting for this one to start. I know a little bit about Titanic the Musical from the States, and when I saw it advertised at Chapel, I think it was last year, they started promoting it, and I said to the guys down at Chapel, gee, I can't wait to come and see this. It's going to be fantastic. So we'll be there on opening night to see you. You're a graduate from Whopper in 2015, I think it was. So You're fairly new into the acting field. How are you finding it?
Yeah, well, it was a bit of a career change for me as well, actually, because I originally went off and did my science degree straight out of high school, and then...
Well, you did conservation biology, didn't you?
Yeah, I did, and then I worked sort of in oil and gas for a couple of years as an enviro, and then threw it all away to go and study music theatre at Whopper, and so it's a huge career shift for me, but I'm absolutely loving it.
And a huge gamble at the same time, because an actor is quite often out of work.
Right? Every now and then I pinch myself and I'm like, did you make the right decision? But no, it's been fantastic. And you learn so much about yourself and about human nature, studying acting and that sort of thing. So it's been really great.
You've been in some shows, some of those called Legally Blonde, I was noticing, West Side Story, Children of Eden and so on. A Little Women, I think you had a voice part of that one too. So you've done a little bit of stuff in a very short space of time. How do you see yourself forwarding from here? Where do you want to be in 10 years from now?
Hopefully still in musicals.
Yeah, good.
But I'm trying to keep both, I guess, the music theatre world open as well as the opera world. I've done a little bit of, a couple of operas during my time at Whopper as well. So I guess the dream in 10 years would be doing, one of Sondheim's pieces. Any of Sondheim's musicals I would love to be in. So I guess that would be the dream.
Wonderful composer. Yeah, great composer. Yeah, it really is. Matthew, tell us something about the Titanic the Musical.
I guess the first thing that jumps out is the score. I mean, the score is so beautiful and it's so moving. It's really a singer's show, this one. And coming from a sort of a more musical background myself, I played piano for sort of 14 or 15 years before as I was growing up. So that's a huge attraction for me for this show is the music component. It's just beautiful. And then I guess it's also, having the different class structure and learning sort of the hopes and aspirations of the different people on board. The great thing about the musical is that it's based on, the real life people that were actually on the Titanic. It's not Titanic the movie as a stage show. It's the actual real life events that happen. So there's a wealth of information out there that we can draw upon as actors to understand our individual characters and come to terms with the journey that they were making.
And to win all those Tony Awards in the States, it must be something very, very special. I think it's still playing in the States, isn't it?
I'm not sure, actually. I mean, they recently had a revival version over in London, which was, they condensed the huge production down to a sort of a chamber environment, which apparently works really, really well. Because I guess it's a lot more immediate for the audience and it's a lot more immersive from that respect. So,
Matthew, you just mentioned there about chamber. I notice you've got really chamber music in this too. You've got mostly strings, haven't you?
Yeah. There's a 4-piece string quartet, which is actually sort of on stage with us throughout the musical.
And that's very appropriate because that's what happened on the Titanic.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you hear the story of the band playing right to the very end and going down with the ship, and that's very present in our show with that quartet being on stage with us. And then there's also some percussion and piano sort of behind the scenes as well.
Now, if my memory's correct from reading what you're doing, each one of you has got to say these 3 parts that you're doing, 3 different actors or acting parts. Each one takes on a different, passage from first class down to the lower class passage. Is that right?
Yes, yeah, indeed. So I guess
go on.
My main character is Charles Clark, who's a second class passenger. Mm-hmm. And obviously, they had very different hopes and aspirations to the third class passengers who were sort of going to America for, trying to find work and that dream of a new life in America, which again is quite different to the first class people who were drawn in by the largest vessel ever built, and that they were happy and safe in the knowledge that they were going to be millionaires forever. And isn't it great that we've got all this money to go and experience the luxury of this incredible ship? So,
well, the Stage Art Group are really, really good at what they do, and they've put on some great shows. And this one looks like being a fantastic show as well. I can't wait to see it on the 7th, or the opening night is a couple of nights after that. But their preview nights are the 7th and 8th. The opening night is the 9th, next Saturday. And they're at 7:30 with a matinee on the Sunday at 1:30. Now, what are you singing in this yourself that we can identify you from the audience?
I've got a beautiful duet which I sing with my future wife, Caroline. She's Greta Sheriff. And it's called I Give You My Hand. Sort of halfway
Beautiful.
through the first act. Otherwise, it's such a choral show, very, very much sort of ensemble sung throughout. So I appear all over the place.
Well, look, I'm really looking forward to it. The cast you've got there have got so much, I suppose, history in what they've done. They're seasoned actors, a lot of these. And that must be great to be able to work with people like that too from yourself. And you'd be learning from them having been a graduate in 2015.
Yeah, definitely.
Good on you, pal. Well, look forward to seeing that on opening night. Hope to meet you afterwards. And it's previewing the 7th and 8th of July next week. Then opening on Saturday night, the 9th, 7:30 at Chapel off Chapel. So go along and see it. Support these wonderful people. It looks like being a fantastic musical for Melbourne. Titanic the Musical, 5 Tony Awards in the States. And we look forward to meeting you on the night. Take care, pal, and we'll see you soon.
Great. Thanks so much, Lee.
Break a leg, as they say in this business.